Howdy, howdy, all. Welcome on to Goose Talks Film, and today we're doing our first ever YouTube exclusive, which I'll be ranking every Disney animated movie. Well, not everyone, because I've noticed there's a few missing, but there's a lot of animated Disney movies to be covered, and a lot of the more well-known ones. And this features a few Pixar, because when I did this list, it was solely going to be just Walt Disney Animation Studios, not Pixar, because they're two completely different animation studios. But there's a few Pixar movies in here, but doesn't matter. We'll rank them anyway. So please let me know in the comments if you disagree, agree with whatever. You like the video, please hit that like and that subscribe button. If you don't want to miss out on new episodes of the podcast every week, we're on Friday evenings. I drop a new release movie review, and then every Wednesday, hopefully, I'll be dropping a new video that will be exclusive to YouTube. And for the next month, I'll be doing tier lists every week, and then we'll change up the video, maybe come back tier lists. But anyway, let's get into it. Alrighty, here we go. Ranking the Disney animated movies. So, as you can see, there are 6 different tiers. We have GOAT, the greatest of all time. This will only be filled by one movie because I hate when people use the term, one of the GOATs, one of the GOATs. Well, the term is greatest of all time. So, maybe 2. I might break my own rules, but there's not going to be like 4 or 5 in this tier list. In this row for the tier list. Only going to be 1, maybe 2. We'll see how I go. They're amazingly good, very watchable, not great, not terrible. Get out of here with that shit and haven't seen. There'll probably be a few I haven't seen, mainly for the fact that not every movie is easy to access in Australia, especially for me growing up. I am in my late 20s, so believe it or not, we grew up with videos and then DVDs. So anyway, all these movies are in no particular order. They're kind of just grouped up, so we'll just do them one by one. And we have Beauty and the Beast, the Christmas special, which I haven't seen. From my knowledge, it was just a few episodes from a TV series molded into a movie, which Disney did a lot in the 90s. They did that with Aladdin. They did it with Tarzan, where they just kind of molded 3 or 4 episodes into one to make it a movie and release it on video/DVD. Anyway, we have Pinocchio, one of the OGs, the second Disney animated movie to be released, well, second Disney movie to be released after Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, 1940. Look, I grew up with this video. Pretty sure it was my brother's, so I pretty much had this video from when I can remember. So I have watched this a lot. It is a very, very good movie. It deals with a lot of dark issues and whatnot. It's pretty crazy. It got made in 1940 and released in 1940 when obviously a lot of things weren't accepted, but animated movies were, they were like a new thing, like feature-length animated movies. This is only the second one ever. So, Pinocchio, I mean, it is an absolute classic movie. I have to put it in amazingly good for the story that it tells, the voice acting, the animation for its time. I know it's been remastered. I think the version we had on video had obviously been already remastered as best they could do back then. It probably looks even better now, but Pinocchio is a very good movie. We have The Little Mermaid, which is cited as kicking off the Disney Renaissance, so I can't really put it low. I have only watched this very multiple times. Just wasn't really in my wheelhouse, as to speak. But I'll put it in very watchable. Probably gonna get a lot of hate for that. I can see the music and the animation as to why it is highly regarded. Because I mean, it did kickstart the Disney Renaissance. Although I would maybe put that to another movie that's maybe on this list. But anyway, I mean, it was followed by some of the greatest Disney animated movies of all time. Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, a few others. So, in terms of Disney Renaissance, I don't think it's near the top. So, unfortunately, I'll put it in very watchable, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that one. We have Soul. This is one of the Pixar ones I was talking about. I was very, very, very bored in this movie. I'm not saying it's a poorly written movie or a badly directed. It's certainly not badly animated. I don't think any of these movies are particularly a terrible animation. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but get out of here with this shit. I don't think I'll ever put myself through watching Soul again. It was very boring. I was actually really excited for this movie because I really liked the premise. I thought the main character was likable enough, and I was really intrigued to see his journey, but it was very, very boring. I'm sorry. Another one I'm getting a lot of hate for. Yeah, do not know this. I don't think I've ever even seen this before. So unfortunately, I put it in haven't seen. The Brave Little Toaster that Goes to Mars. I have seen it, but I was very young. I was under 10, and I don't remember it, so I'm going to have to put it in haven't seen. I'm sorry. There won't be heaps of them, so don't worry. I'm not going to put like 30 movies down in that category because I know it's annoying. Mulan. A lot of people that know me personally will probably know where I'm going to put this. I'm not going to rush to put any movies in the GOAT category until I categorize every movie, and then I'll sort through what I have in what category, and I'll put a movie or maybe two in that category. But for now, I think Mulan is amazingly good. I fucking love this movie. When it was in the 90s, like I said, the Disney Renaissance. I mean, we are filled with amazing Disney movies. I mean, just they're like regarded as the best of all time in this like 11-year time frame. Milan, it tells a great story. I love when Disney do movies set back in time. I think they did this really good. The voice cast is great. The soundtrack was one of my all-time favorites. I think Shan Yu is one of my favorite ever Disney villains. I think the animation took 8 years for this to get made, and boy, like it's good payoff. I think for Disney, it is such a good movie. I fucking love Milan. Pickles Big Movie. I have actually recently watched this with my daughter, and I had only maybe seen it once before. I'll put it in not great, not terrible. I mean, I think a lot of the Winnie the Pooh movies aren't fantastic, although they have a bit of nostalgia, certainly for me as well. But they are what they are. They're very cute. They have some good little messages in there, but not great, not terrible. Lilo and Stitch 2. I'm sorry, but people, I know there's Lilo and Stitch fucking fanatics out there, and when they say all the sequels and the TV series were good, they won't. The original, which we'll get to later, is really good. All the sequels aren't good, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to get so much hate for this, but Toy Story, I mean, you can't really put this anywhere else. I'm kind of putting these in a relatively like specific order. I will maybe change things around once I think about things and see where all the movies land. But Toy Story, amazingly good. I mean, what a groundbreaking movie. Like the first, to my knowledge, the first feature-length movie to be completely done with computer animation. It just tells a great story. We all have these little things like, this movie probably caused it for my generation because he's come out the year I was born, 95, where you would try and catch your toys moving, like you'd act like, oh, I'm leaving the room now, and then quickly sneak back and see your toys moving. Like it's just one of those childhood imagination things that Disney always does really well. They grab things from every kid's childhood that we all think about, and they kind of turn it into a great movie. And this voice cast is just probably one of the best voice acting cast ever assembled. The animation for 95 for computer animation is really good. It holds up still. So you can't put it anywhere else other than amazingly good. Princess and the Frog, I think, is really good. It was a time where it felt like, in North American releases at least, that all the animated movies were all computer animated. And this was traditionally 2D animation, traditionally drawn, 2009. So it's a really good story. I haven't seen this loads of times, but it's got a really cool soundtrack. Animation is really good. I think the villain's good. He's got a good villain song, pretty very watchable. And for a lot of people, I think very watchable is probably going to be the most jam-packed category, because I maybe undersold the title a bit, but very watchable is like amazing good movies. Amazingly good. It pretty much the greatest ones that can't all be the greatest of all time. So they're kind of like a step above very watchable. But look, there's a big step between not great, not terrible, and very watchable. So please don't leave too much hate in the comments. All right. Fantasia 2000. I was never massive on the Fantasia because they were like just music. Obviously, I'm not big on those types of, like, I wouldn't sit through an orchestral performance or anything like that. Look, not great, not terrible. The animation in this is really good, I will say. The animation fits obviously the music really well. I think that's something they've always done good. Frankenweenie, it's Tim Burton, so it's very out of pocket. It's very odd. I think the animation, like the stop motion / claymation animation, is really cool. Storyline, it's Frankenstein but with a dog. Put it in like not great, not terrible. I think if you're into, that is a good gateway horror movie. If you're looking for like your younger kids that want to get into horror but you don't want to fully commit to it, Frankenweenie is definitely one of them, along with like Scooby Doo and those types of ones. Aladdin and the King of Thieves. Now, I always like said that all the sequels to these Disney animated movies were all always bad, but there are a few good ones. And this is specifically like a very rare case. This is actually the third movie in the Aladdin trilogy. The second one, which we'll probably get to later, Return of Jafar, is garbage. But King of Thieves, it like this wasn't one of the ones where the TV series was just they grabbed episodes and turned it into a movie. It is an original movie. I really like. I had this on video along with the original one, and I watched this just as much as the original one. And you could tell the animation is a bit off because this was straight to video at the time, so animation is not great. Blah blah blah. But I won't put it. I have to put it in very watchable. I'll put it. Nah, people kill me if I put it above Little Mermaid. But I think it for a sequel with a lesser budget, and I think a lot of the voice cast actually returns. Gilbert Gottfried and stuff up, if I'm not mistaken. In this, Robin Williams does voice in this, unlike some of the other Aladdin projects. So, love it. Dinosaur. This is one that I watched a lot as a kid. Groundbreaking animation. Dinosaur. This was the era of like my generation, a bit older, where you're growing up with the Jurassic Park movies, and then this comes out, and you have the Lost World and all these other dinosaur things. Like we all grew up loving dinosaurs. Like it's one of those things where you kind of latched onto as a kid. Where dinosaur I put very watchable, I will put above Aladdin King of Thieves. Um, it's really really cool. It's nothing really like original in terms of story, but it's really good in a lot of other aspects. Oliver and Company, I think Oliver and Company came out in the mid '80s when Don Bluth was kind of kicking Disney's ass in terms of animation, storytelling, and at the box office as well. Oliver and Company is a really charming movie. The animation may not be amazing, but the music's good. The characters are good. I think Robert Loggia voices the bad guy. I think Stokes, I think is the villain's name. Very cool, creepy villain. I will put in very watchable. Like I said, there's going to be a stat category. I'll try and sec it too much. I'll try and be as best with that as I can. But I think Oliver and Company is a very charming movie. If your kids love movies like about animals, Oliver and Company is definitely a good choice. The Incredibles. Now, I've copped so much shit from a lot of people I know that I say The Incredibles is severely overrated. But I did grow up watching it. I played the video game on my Xbox. It's probably one of the first games I owned on my Xbox, which I played a lot at that age in my life. I'll put it at the top of very watchable. This is probably the one I'm gonna get the most hate for. It's a movie about superheroes, and that was before we obviously got bombarded with all these Marvel movies and whatnot. But it's good. I can't put it on the same level as Toy Story and Milan. But I'm sorry, I'm gonna get so much heat for that one. Slows Amigos, look, I have seen, but I haven't seen it recent enough to review on. Jungle Book, I mean, this was obviously the movie 1966, sorry, that Walt Disney famously passed away during the production. So he was technically the last movie that Walt ever laid his eyes on that was in production. Look, this has some of the most memorable characters, quotes, music, but what this comes down to is the villain, Shere Khan. I mean, a very laid villain for like an evil tiger. But when it comes down to, the story of men and animals and men and fire and men slash humans ruining the environment, blah blah blah. For the '60s, it starts a really thought provoking discussion. And Shere Khan's just one of the all time great villains. He's up there with some of the other ones I've already mentioned, like Shan Yu. Jungle Book, look, you have to put it in amazingly good. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. It was late '60s, leading into the '70s when Disney was kind of falling off a bit in terms of animation and their leaders. Once Walt passed away, you had the 9 old men that were starting to retire and whatnot, and there was a bit of a power struggle. So some of the later ones that we'll touch on are affected, but Mickey's, yeah, look, I won't even bother. I have watched that a few times as a kid, but Brother Bear 2, yeah, I'm sorry. You could tell the budget and stuff was cut for this, and this was straight DVD because it's not good. This is majority what I was talking about of all these Disney sequels. I mean, I'm sorry, this isn't good. I'm sorry. People are going to hate me, but it's not good. Same as this one. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Uh, I'm assuming this is the Tigger movie. Some of these are in like foreign language, so it's hard to tell. But I'm pretty sure it's the Tigger movie, which is another Winnie the Pooh movie. It's very cute. It's got some good messages. Nothing groundbreaking. Brave, I think, is a very, very good movie. I love that we're finally getting. What was this, like 2012? I think it was, just over 10 years ago. So at this point, we're getting more Disney movies set in like different countries, different cultures, and different time periods. I think Brave is very, very good movie. I'll put it between Little Mermaid and The Incredibles. Look, that might go up. I really love Brave. I think it tells a really, really cool story. Atlantis. Now, I think this is this the sequel. I think this is the Return of Milo. We'll touch back on that if I don't come across the original. But if this is a sequel, then I'm sorry. I'll put this towards the top because it's not as bad as some of the other ones. So I'll put it towards the top. Tinkerbell, haven't seen. Great Mouse Detective. This is one that I was saying that, in my opinion, it kind of was the one that kick-started the Disney Renaissance in terms of it was very well received by critics and fans. It just didn't make a lot of money, and they also used computer-generated imagery in this, in the big the town clock scene with the clogs and the mechanisms and all that were all computer animated. So I've always really liked this movie. I always like Sherlock Holmes, and when movies take inspiration from that, I always love it. So I'll put it next to Little Mermaid, so I don't get stabbed in the streets. Kim Possible movie. I watched the TV show, but not the movie. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Now, this was the movie that was made to kind of as a pilot for the TV series. That it was. Yeah, look, it's not a terrible movie by any means. I want to move that. That's a bit better. So yeah, I mean it's pretty much a TV episode, but in feature length in terms of animation and all that. But it is a really fun movie. An extremely goofy movie, Goofy Movie 2. I had this movie on DVD, and I grew up really liking it, watched it more than the original, but it's also not a good movie. You can tell that a lot of these were handed off to different Disney animated studios in different parts of the world. Australia, we had one, I think it was in Sydney or Queensland, which they did Jungle Book 2, and another one that it might have been an extremely goofy movie, I'm not sure, but these weren't dealt with what they call the A-team of Disney animators at this time, from the late 90s up until like the 2010s. These are all handballed to lower Disney animated studio. Not like in terms of quality, probably not, and working, probably not, just budget. Really what it comes down to. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, they're kind of short stories that don't really affect each other. They're two kind of separate stories. Not great, not terrible. It was up from the 40s. Make My Music. I haven't seen Melody Time. There's probably more in that category than I would like, but oh well. 101 Dalmatians, really, really do like. This is one that I've rewatched as an adult with my daughter, and the animation isn't as good as I'd want it to be. I don't think I should put it not great, not terrible, but I'll put it towards the end of very watchable. Just the animation, you watch it back, the animation is not phenomenal, but I love the story. And Cruella de Vil was one of the, like, not only greatest Disney villains ever, but one of the like greatest movie villains of all time. What else we got? DuckTales was a movie. Yeah, fun. Like it's at the bottom, not great, not terrible. It's better than all these ones, all these sequels, and so and get out of here with that shit. So towards the end, it is what it is. It's a grumpy uncle and Huey, Dewey, and Louie. That's what it is. The Aristocats was one I grew up watching a lot. Another one where the animation isn't phenomenal, but it's got a lot of catchy songs in it. I think it's what carries the movie. Some nice characters. So I'll put it at the very top of not great, not terrible. I think it's slightly not as good as 101 Dalmatians, but yeah, I'll put it there. Doug's first movie, another one I grew up watching the TV show and watched them. I remember that when the movie first aired on Disney Channel here in Australia, because back then it wasn't no streaming and stuff where things would drop 6 months later. It was a big deal on Disney Channel when it was dropping, as like the big movie feature on the Disney Channel. So put it kind of there for not great, not terrible. I mean, it's ugly, it's not amazing. Toy Story 2, I regard as one of the best animated sequels of all time, up there with Shrek 2 and some others. Oh, yeah, look, it's on par, if maybe if not better than. It's a nice discussion to have between Toy Story and Toy Story 2. I'll put those two together in amazingly good. I mean, what can I say? It's adds on. What you want from a sequel is to add on to the characters that were introduced to us in the first one, maybe introduce a few new ones, and then build upon that story and give us something nice and original. And Toy Story 2 delivers and more. Tangled, one that was kind of obviously out there when I wasn't watching a shit ton of animated movies, and have watched it with my daughter since. And I think is a tad overrated, but it was very, very popular. Before Frozen was a thing, like people kids were going crazy over Tangled. So we'll put it at the end of very watchable for now. Phineas and Ferb movie, watch the TV show, not the movie. Wreck-It Ralph, very cool, very good. I don't think it's as good as Brave and maybe some other of the other ones in this category. I do think it's better than Tangled. Oh yeah. Look, probably a lot of people are going to come at me for not putting all these in amazingly good, but you can't just jam pack and use your bias and jam pack the top of the list, because what's the point? Dumbo, one I have very good memories of. It is a very short movie. It's like just over an hour, but it was made during World War II. Some of the themes taken in it are pretty crazy in terms of like alcoholism and like going on a trip and stuff. And it also deals with some other stuff as well. I will put it about there, I reckon. I reckon I've picked this big movie up just a tad too high, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll probably leave it there, I reckon. Dumbo, yeah, the top of not great, not terrible. It's probably not as good as what people remember. Honestly, if you haven't watched it in a while, go back and rewatch it. It's probably not as good. Frozen 2, I mean, a lot of people love the Frozen movies. I've only seen Frozen 2 the once, which was recently. Yeah, I'll put it. Oh, people might kill me, but I do think it's better than Tangled. Obviously, not as good as the first Frozen, but it is, yeah, a very good movie. Three Calories, haven't seen it. Well, Peter Pan, another one that was kind of released in that period where Disney was starting maybe just before its lull. But it's Peter Pan, very, very, fond movie. A lot of people's, like generations of people's childhood. So I'll put it there, I reckon. Moana, I'd be silly to put this anywhere else. It's such a big movie when it come out. A lot of people my age, like one of my best mates, like he loves this movie. It's one of his favorite Disney movies, and I've watched it quite a few times. I watched it before I had a daughter, and I've watched it quite a few times with her now. She loves it. Tells a great story, and this is what I mean of since 2010, maybe a bit earlier, they're going to these different countries, different cultures, and telling these really, really good stories about what I mean about representation. Like this is it telling the stories of these different cultures and stuff, and then casting people that should be in these roles. So I think Moana is really, really good. Aladdin. This wasn't going anywhere else. I mean, let's be honest. Robin Williams probably puts in the greatest voice performance of all time. Now, Eddie Murphy's Donkey's fantastic, but Robin Williams, the goat when it comes to voice acting. I think it's the Winnie the Pooh movie. Again, all these are kind of gonna go in the same category. Not great, not terrible. Same, yeah. Towards the end. This is a sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. This is calling a Wi-Fi Ralph. I really want to know what country that's from. Yeah, I didn't think this was as good. I'll put it Yeah, not great, not terrible. I mean, it was okay. It's probably not one I would watch a lot. High expectations from the first one. Look, the first Planes, not great, not terrible. Kind of, it's cars, but with, planes. So put it in not great, not terrible. Planes, Fire and Rescue, probably up the top of get out of here with that shit, to be honest. Uh, Big Hero 6, very, very good movie. I do get emotional in that. I think it's better than The Incredibles. I do. I think it's better than The Incredibles. And I think perhaps better than The Incredibles. I'm sorry. I think it is. Big Hero 6 might even go up to amazingly good, but we'll see how we feel later on. Alice in Wonderland, another one that's fond memories. It's probably not as great as you would remember, but it is such a very iconic movie. A lot of iconic characters. I put it very watchable. Well, was released kind of when I was still watching a bit of animated movies. It's about 2008. Very watchable. Yeah, yeah, very watchable. I would put it probably here. Valiant. I grew up watching this and I thought it was really good. I rewatched it back, and the animation, you can tell it's done by a different studio. So this was made by an independent studio or a different animation studio, and then Disney picked it up and released it. So you can tell it's not amazing. I'm sorry. Oh, get out of here with that shit. I'm sorry. I watched it with my daughter recently with fond memories, and I couldn't finish it. I couldn't finish it, I'm afraid. Cars 3, I think this is when cars started to fall off. I still think it's not great, not terrible. Uh, Probably better than Planes. Probably better than. Yeah, I reckon that's a good spot. Uh, think about what happened. Sorry, Cinderella. Yeah, one of those older ones where in the 50s and 60s I wasn't a massive fan of the Disney princesses they were doing back then. Um, I'll probably put it. That's gonna probably piss a lot of people off, but just not my cup of tea. It's very boring. I have seen this sequel. Oh, it's bad. It's probably the worst sequel we've come across, actually. So it's gone at the end. Brother Bear, very, very good. Disappointing with what they did with the sequel. Very watchable. Um, yeah, probably better than Bolt. Is it better than 101 Dalmatians? Actually, 101 Dalmatians probably go up higher. In hindsight, to be honest. Yeah, is that a good? Probably better than Oliver and Company. Yeah, bit of shuffling going on. We have Coco. Very cool track. Very cool setting. Like I said, when they were doing different cultures and whatnot, it was really good to see. I think it's probably in the middle of the pack. Um, yeah, very watchable. Tarzan 2, Garbo. Probably, yeah, Garbo. Chicken Little. Chicken Little is fantastic movie. I'll probably put it at the end of very watchable. I think it's better than not great, not terrible. Ratatouille, another one I didn't love as much as other people. Like people go crazy for this movie. I think it's very, very good. Don't get me wrong. It's probably towards the top here. But a lot of people would have it in this category. Some people would even have it as their GOAT. Honestly. Me, no. Snow White, I mean, yeah, you kind of have to use its history as the first ever feature length animated movie, 1937. Yeah, it's cool. It's it is what it is from the age that it is, you know. So not great, not terrible. I would rewatch Aristocats before I'd rewatch Snow White. To be fair, Christmas Carol. I do remember watching this in the movies actually. And then I rewatched it for Christmas. Not as good as I remembered, unfortunately. I would put it. I probably rewatched the Winnie the Pooh movies before I watched Christmas Carol again. Good Dinosaur, very good movie. At the end of amazingly good, very 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 good movie. Um, yeah, another one that probably gets emotional, pulls at the heartstring, man. Like it's very cool. It doesn't have like a crap ton of dialogue either. Because obviously the characters within it and whatnot. Yeah. Oh yeah, bad, 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 bad. Bad. Not as probably as bad as Cinderella 2 though. Far out. Leroy and Stitch, yeah, not good. That's probably in the middle Jungle Book 2. Yeah, this probably not as bad as Cinderella 2. I think that's set the bar for terrible Disney sequels. Cars 2, really, really good. Obviously not as good as the original. Um, I would put it at the end here, I think. What did I put? Yeah, Cars 3. That's about right. Have seen, don't remember. Remember Hunchback of Notre Dame. Trying to not do my full-on bias here, but man, that's hard. You know what? Fuck it. It's my video. At the end of Amazingly Good. It's one of my all-time favorite animated movies and Disney movies. I have to put it there for what it for the themes it tackles and stuff, and for a lot of it to go over our heads as kids, and then you rewatch it as an adult and you think, wow, that's incredibly done in their like with their craft that they're able to tell this story, but throwing these themes that are probably subtly, subconsciously kind of hitting us, but not really. Yeah, like when I learned about like Frollo's villain song and what he's actually singing about, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Um, but yeah, I'm sorry, it's my video and put it there. I have seen this and it's bad, but I will. It's hard to differentiate all those Beauty and the Beast sequels. Like I said, they're just little bloody snipper things. Lion King 2 Simba's Pride was one I watched a lot because I had this on video. A very, very good sequel. Very underrated. I would, yeah, not as good as Aladdin 3, but better than Peter Pan. Yep, that's about right. Wally, look, another one I think is a bit overrated. Very watchable. I really just don't think it's that good. I know he's like he's a likable, charming character, but that's just not good. Atlantis. Now, I think this is the first one. I get my posters mixed up. I think this is the first one, which very, very good movie. Better than Wreck-It Ralph too, so I'll put it there. Not great, not terrible. Nah, that's not sitting right with me. Nah. At the end of very watchable. I think that's fair. I'll probably get stabbed. Three Musketeers, one I did actually watch. Not great, not terrible. I have rewatched that and it's not as good as I remember. Return Jafar, fucking poop stink shit. Garbo. Bradley Test? Yeah, another Bradley Test I haven't seen. Finding Dory. I'm never going to say anything. Please do not kill me. Okay, we're going to leave that one. This one's hard because this is like a TV show thing. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. It's too hard. Fox and Hound 2, I have seen this. It's like a musical traveling show one. Not good. Not good. Goofy movie. One of the coolest like musical scenes you'll see. Yeah, we'll chuck it in there. Good fun. Hercules. Hercules. Very like part of that Disney Renaissance. Very good. I would put it above Incredibles. Fucking come at me. Right. There we go. There we go. Sorry, just adjusting the camera so you can kind of see me a bit more. Probably should have done that earlier. Anyway, yeah, from how much I love the sequel, love the original, the sequel was bad. Incredibles 2, yeah, come at me. Not that good. Oh, God, I remember watching this and I was absolutely pissed off. Bloody Emperor's New Groove sequel was so bad. Sleeping Beauty, probably, I'll put it directly next to Cinderella because I think they're very similar in terms of my like for them, which isn't high. Yeah, I had this on video actually, or DVD. Might have been DVD. Probably one of the better ones, to be fair. The fucking sequel that was Shiza. Probably not as bad as the third one, though. That like sets the fucking tone. Haven't seen. I didn't realize there was another Little Mermaid. I don't know there was two, but Mars Needs Mums. Yeah, I kind of have a bit of bias for this, but it isn't really a very good movie. The animation, they were kind of trying stuff out. Kind of, it looked like a video game slash movie. Yeah, it wasn't good. Meet the Robinsons. I saw this at the movies. I thought it was fairly decent. I think, yeah, about there. There's time travel and stuff, so I got a bit of a love for it. Uh, yeah, I have actually seen Disney's House of Mouse villains. They should add Disney's House of Mouse to Disney Plus. What are they doing? Yeah, not great, not terrible. It is what it is. This has to go towards the top, doesn't it? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Monsters Inc. Probably just a personal preference over Toy Story, Toy Story 2, but they're all great. Toy Story 4, I didn't hate this as much as other people. I think the third one was so good that people had very high expectations, or they just wanted the franchise to end. I think I would watch it before I watch Incredibles 2, and I watch it before Dumbo, and I would watch it before Snow White. I would probably put it there. Inside Out, another one I thought was a tad overrated, but I guess we all have our preferences for what we grow up with. There's a lot of, obviously, kids have grown up a bit now, and they watched this movie when they were kids, so very watchable, I think, for Inside Out. In there with Wreck-It Ralph, I reckon they're on par. Oh, Milan 2, yeah, another one. Just like the sequel to Hunchback of Notre Dame. They're like two of my favourites, and the sequels are really bad. Actually, no, I'd probably watch it before a lot of these other ones, actually. Yeah, probably there. Monster University. Like, everyone was hoping that the sequel for Monsters Inc. was going to be as good as the sequel to Toy Story. Unfortunately, it wasn't. At the end of not great, not terrible. And a lot of these, like, you probably look and think, how can you put Monster University next to Three Musketeers? It's because it's all about expectation and setting a bar for itself within its own franchise. So that's kind of how I justify it. Wait, there's a Proud Family movie? I remember that TV show. Rescuers Down Under. I had obviously a soft spot for this because it was a movie set in Australia, which we didn't really get a lot from major North American releases. And I watched it more than I watched the original. And I think it's very, very good. I think the animation is really good. You could tell they did their research when it come to trying to capture Outback Australia. Yeah, I think it's probably sitting around here, to be honest. Probably, yeah, towards the top. I do want to push Incredibles down. I'm sorry. I'll just put it there because I was scared. Little Mermaid 2, yeah, my sister had this on video. I remember watching it once or twice. Not very good. Not very good. Probably better than Luca. Wasn't as good as I hoped. I heard a lot of hype about this. And I watched it after I watched Raya and the Last Dragon, which they came out at a similar time. Raya was much better, which we'll eventually get to soon. Yeah, not great, not terrible. Put it there. Onward came out obviously when shit hit the fan with COVID and whatnot. I remember watching it at home when I didn't have a job for like 5 weeks, so I probably wasn't probably in the best mindset watching this, but it was decent. It was decent. Probably better than Planes. Probably better than. I think Fantastic 2000 is a bit high actually in hindsight. It was one of the early ones, probably about there. Roughly. The OG Fantasia, remember I loved the dinosaur scene from that. It kind of scared me as a kid, so just because of that, it's kind of. Where'd I put the sequel? Yep, it's better than the sequel 2000. Lilo and Stitch. That kind of has to go towards the top of very watchable. I would say it's better than Little Mermaid. A lot of Little Mermaid fans are going to come at me, man. Treasure Planet. Kind of bombed the box office. I mean, a lot of marketing around it as well. I'd watch it before. Actually, I put Wally there. I would probably. bolt's probably a tad too high, unfortunately. There we go. A bit of shuffling again. Tarzan. Probably the best Disney soundtrack of all time. Well, the movie itself isn't amazing. The movie itself is really good. I think it's carried by Phil Collins' soundtrack. Um, I'll put it there, I reckon. It's very good, but it's not amazingly good. Robin Hood, another one I have fond memory for. I probably almost wore this video out. I just love the story of Robin Hood, and I love that they did it with animals as the characters. I thought was a nice touch. Very watchable, I put it. Yeah, look, it may not have aged the best in terms of the voice acting, the music, and animation, but I think it's still very good. Frozen, I'm probably more scared of the Frozen fans coming at me more than anything, but I put it at the top of very watchable. I don't think that it's that good. I think that the marketing and the music brainwashed people into thinking that it was the greatest Disney movie of all time, which it's not. But it tells a very good story, don't get me wrong. And I think it's very good. Sam's the Circle. God, we've still got quite a few movies to go. We're going to be pushing an hour here. Might have to bloody whip through some of these. Although I've just seen some other crappy ass sequels that need to go at the bottom here. I'm just going to quickly just shuffle them in because I'm not wasting time. That's really bad, actually. Pocahontas 2. I do really love the first one. I was going to quickly weed through some of these that I haven't seen. I haven't seen any of the animated Diary of the Wimpy Kid movies. It's all live action ones. There's a random Ice Age movie in here, which technically it is Disney at that point because they were bought out. So yeah, I guess it is. Okay, Lady and the Tramp. I actually rewatched this recently. I was never a massive fan of it as a kid, but I probably like it more than what I did as a kid. Probably at the end here. It is, yeah, I think the characters and stuff are cool. Why not? But is it better than Aristocats? Yeah, probably. It probably is. Bambi, kind of a movie that's kind of carried by its shocking scene and its cute and lovable characters. So I'll put it towards the top here. Probably on par with Dumbo, to be honest. It came out only a couple of years apart. Pocahontas, probably the worst Disney Renaissance movie I can think of. Oh, it's so boring. Put it there. It is a very boring movie. And it's a shame because it covers a very interesting story, but it's boring. Emperor's New Groove. Very watchable. Probably there, yeah, probably there. Home the Range. I actually think this is a really bad movie, honestly. Yeah, I'll put it there. It is not a good movie. How did that Lilo and Stitch movie? I actually put that there. How did that get so? Oh, anyway, it's not a good movie. Ryan Last Dragon, really enjoyed. Probably one of my favorite recent animated Disney movies. Seeing Bear, Alice Wonderland, movie. I think it's better than a lot of these ones, to be honest. I'll put it there, yeah. Fox and the Hound, another one's probably carried by like a scene or two. Animation, this is when the animation drop off, you could tell. Probably put it here. Carried by a sad scene at the end. Finding Nemo, another one I found overrated, but it is a very good movie. Probably there. Nemo fans are going to come at me. Lion King, well, I mean, come on now. Those lists are feeling up. It's probably, look, personal bias aside. There's nowhere else I can really put it, is there? Cars. Amazingly good. Cars is a very, very good movie. Probably at the end. Bambi 2, another fucking sequel. There was money grabbing at that point. Very disappointing, Disney. Pull your finger out, mate. Okay, we're starting to wind down a little bit now. Bugs Life, oh, very, very good movie. One of the best Pixar movies for sure in the conversation. Black Cauldron. Now, a lot of people probably haven't seen this movie. It's kind of a forgotten Disney movie because it was the first ever PG um, Disney animated movie. Very dark. It bombed the box office. Got beaten by the Care Bears movie at the box office. But I am biased because this was, one of the first videos I can remember ever owning and watching as a kid. And another one I almost wore the DVD other video, and then I got the DVD special edition, which is what this cover is because the video cover is very different. Um, Look, personal bias has to come into it, and I know it's not amazingly good. I know, but it's such a cool like. If you're a kid and you love your fantasy movies, like your Lord of the Rings and all that type of stuff, this is gonna like eat your scratch, man. It has to go to the top. Very watchable for me. It just has to. It's just such an underrated gem. The animation quality is unreal for this time period for Disney. Tim Burton worked on this movie as an animator. A bit of fact about you didn't know. Number Before Christmas, another wacky Tim Burton one. Not great, not terrible. Um, Wait, I just realised. No, it's not. No, I literally, I'm a dumbass. I thought it was A Corpse Bride. Nightmare Before Christmas is like one of the most iconic animated movies ever made. Um, let's go there. For some reason, I thought it was Corpse Bride because I looked at her and I thought, oh yeah, Corpse Bride. But no, it's fucking Jack Skellington, mate. Come on, pull your finger out, goes. Fucking hell. Saul and Stone, another one that I have fond memory of. This one was on Disney quite a bit. We didn't own it. I used to rent it a lot though. Very watchable. I'll put it on par with Robin Hood. I'd put it on par with Robin Hood. Very watchable. Rescuers, very good. Um, where did I put the sequel? It probably is just better than the sequel. Probably maybe on par, but they are 20 years apart. Beauty and the Beast. Tale as old as time. Beauty and the Beast. Up. Another one I found overrated. But people kill me. So you can go towards, I reckon. Too far. Wait, there we go. Toy Story 3, I think, is a phenomenal third film. Shrek 3 should have fucking taken notes from this. Where did I... So the top two there, this would have to go... I say it's better than Frozen. Fuck, I don't care. Come at me. Come at me, Frozen fans. I haven't seen the Springtime Rue one. Winnie the Pooh. Not great, not terrible. Another one. They're very fun movies, but I can't rate them any higher. The Wild. Damn, I remember watching this in movies, and I recently rewatched this with my daughter and my wife. It is a shockingly bad movie. Like, it is a shockingly bad movie. This might, for the budget and whatnot, it is probably worse than Cinderella 3, and that fucking hurts to say. But The Wild is not a good movie by any means. The animation is absolutely atrocious. You can tell it was done by a different studio because it is bad. It tried to be Madagascar hard. Recess School's out. I loved the fucking Recess TV show as a kid. Me and my brother and sister watched that so many times, and the movies were good. Very watchable, yeah. Probably put it towards the end here. Well, it wasn't amazing, but I loved that crap as a kid. Zootopia, another very, very good recent Disney movie. Probably there. You know what? Fuck it. Big Hero 6 better than Frozen. I don't care. I don't care. Lion King. This is a live action, animated, whatever you want to call it. Remember seeing this movie. It's not great. Probably the end of Not Here. Not great, not terrible. Can't really put it any higher. Whoops. Encanto. Another one I think overrated was Carried by One Song. Well, did you know that there's another really good song, Surface Pressure, which I think's the best one, but you don't talk about Bruno was the one that everyone was talking about and singing and whatnot. Yeah, not great, not terrible. Probably, yeah, probably about there. Turning Red, I think the little subtle tones and underlining story it was focusing on was, important to tackle. Hadn't been done before, and the way they did it, I think, was very interesting. Uh, yeah, I would say it's better than Wreck It Ralph 2. Ice Age, I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen that Ice Age one because it was a Disney Plus, pretty much a straight DVD movie when you think about it, or straight to TV, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Lightyear movie didn't hit for me. I was actually very disappointed. I was really excited for this. Look, I don't. I'll put it there. Get out of here with that shit. I was so disappointed. Elemental, kind of just felt like we're watching a lot of other Disney movies just reskinned with different characters and whatnot. You know, a boy from one place and a girl from one place and kind of forbidden love. I mean, it's Romeo and Juliet technically, isn't it? I thought it was quite boring. Put it towards the end here. Not great, not terrible. Strange World, I think severely like a bomb to the box was bad. I think again due to COVID and some other issues. I thought it was quite good. I love these adventure type movies, especially when Disney tries to tackle them. Reminded me a bit of some other ones they did, like Treasure Planet and whatnot. I'll put it there. I think it's better than Encanto, honestly. Last one, Wish. It's not good enough to be in the category high enough. This movie was shit boring, and it just recycled so many other things that Disney's done and other Disney animated movies have done. Just it wasted a great voice cast. Yeah, there's not really much I can say. But before we hit the hour mark, we've got to tackle our big thing. So, in Amazingly Good, we have Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, Monsters Inc., Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Pinocchio, Aladdin, Moana, Jungle Book, Good Dinosaur, A Bug's Life, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Cars. I think I might do a bit of reshuffling. I think maybe Pinocchio, in hindsight, should probably be at the end here. But I think from, like, you have to take into, like, regard when it was made and how it holds up and how it has horrified generations and generations of kids when it comes to the donkey scene. I think Aladdin's better than Moana. I think Aladdin's probably better than... Oh... I'm not going to make a bold move. I actually think Toy Story 2 is better because it's a sequel. The expectations were high and it met them and smashed them. In terms of GOAT, I think I'm probably going to have to sit with 2, but that is better than having like fucking 5 or more. I think it's pretty much the 2 already here. I mean, Lion King and Beauty and the Beast. For slightly similar reasons. Beauty and the Beast is a reason why it was the first movie and only movie for almost 20 years before Up, if I'm not mistaken, to be nominated for Best Film. So there wasn't a Best Animated Feature Film category at this point. That didn't come until like 2001, 2002. And Beauty and the Beast was nominated for Best Film. And that was back when they had 5 nominations, not now where they have up to 8, 9, 10. 5, and it was nominated. But it set a high precedence for that. And it's just, watch it if you haven't. I'm very surprised if you haven't seen it. But it is amazing in almost every way. Voice acting, animation, storytelling, pacing, music, the villain, the themes it tackles. Lion King, for similar reasons, one of the best soundtracks. Elton John, on par with Phil Collins for Tarzan. They're your 2 best soundtracks ever. Those 2 are the greatest animated Disney movies of all time. Obviously, I feel as though there are a few Pixar movies missing. I can't quite recall, but anyway, they're your 2 GOATs. They're your rest of your Amazingly Good. A few of them probably deserve to be given the title of GOAT. I think everyone can make an argument for any of these. I won't read out all the other categories because they're stacked, but as I predicted, Very Watchable was going to be the most stacked. Not Great, Not Terrible was probably on par, actually. Get Out of That Shit was probably more full than I thought it was going to be because I forgot about a lot of these sequels that were garbage. And Haven't Seen was probably more than I wanted it to be, actually. It kind of... skyrocketed, but actually I didn't account for all the sequels. I didn't account for the Tinkerbell sequels, and a few other ones. But anyway, that was our list. My camera is doing something really weird, so that's quite annoying, but I'll leave it there. Video next week, Wednesday. Stay tuned. I won't reveal what the tier list or the ranking will be, but it'll be another, similar one to this. And stay tuned for Friday evening, South Australian time, new release movie will be dropping. I'll be reviewing the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Guy Ritchie's new movie, starring Henry Cavill. So that'll be dropped on Friday. So yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribing. You follow me on Spotify, whatever you listen to, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Audible. And yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube because these videos are exclusive to YouTube. And anyway, yeah, guys, as always, enjoy. Have a good week. Be safe. Hug your family. And be sure to watch those movies. Catch you later.